Today we're talking all things Black Series accessories, so let's not waste any time, let's get into it. Hello there, welcome back to the channel. I am Grand Moff Tony. You know, the reveal of the PulseCon exclusive Starkiller set last week really got me thinking about accessories, because that set is absolutely packed with accessories. I counted 17 of them in total, not including the two Stormtrooper figures, which you can count as just extra figures. It's effectively a 3-pack with 17 accessories, and you don't really see that very much. Or if you do see a 3-pack, one of them tends to be Grogu. And I made a point of saying, you know, this looks like it's going to be possibly the best set that the Black Series has ever put out. It's definitely one of the most desirable characters that we've seen being asked for. It's definitely one of the best exclusives that they've ever done. I mean, this set goes toe-to-toe with the old SDCC Thrawn set, as far as I'm concerned. And it really got me thinking about accessories, and how, as much as there is a demand in the community for, like, new characters, new figures, there's also kind of like a background demand for new accessories. Like, new molded accessories. So this got me thinking, and I took to Reddit over last weekend, and I posted a vote to try and find out what the community thought the best accessory in the Black Series was. I included a couple of my favorites, including my all-time favorite accessory, which is Zeb's Bowcaster, which didn't do very well, and by an overwhelming majority, the accessory that was chosen by the community was the throne that came with Emperor Palpatine. And at first, I didn't really understand the choice, because it's cool and all, but it really only goes with the Emperor. You can't exactly put a ton of different figures on there. Hell, when it comes to big throne accessories, even Snoke's throne, people have used it for other characters. Like, it works well as a Vader's castle throne. I've seen someone use it for General Grievous before, which always looks kind of cool. But yeah, people chose the Emperor's throne, and after thinking about it for a couple of days, I think I'm beginning to understand why. To my mind, there are two kinds of Black Series accessories. You've got the kind that elevates a single figure, like alternate heads, weapons, that kind of thing. You use them to make a single figure better, like whether it's adding a helmet to, I don't know, make it look like the character is flying a ship, or just to disguise an awful Poe Dameron head sculpt. You give them different weapons and have them posed in different positions. It really elevates a single figure. The second kind of Black Series accessory is an accessory that elevates not only one figure, but the display itself. This is where you see a lot of the world-building accessories, like the Camtono that comes with the client, Emperor Palpatine's throne. Stuff that not only makes one figure look better, but makes the display look better in general. And I think that's why the Emperor's throne won my little vote, and that's because there is a crying demand in the Black Series community especially for more world-building accessories. World-building has always kind of been the vintage collections thing, because it's easier to produce. I mean, look at the difference between what you get in the Black Series Jabba the Hutt set compared to the Vintage Collection Jabba the Hutt set. Not only does that Jabba the Hutt come with a dais to put all of this stuff on, cushions, skins, an extra droid, all of that good stuff, but the Vintage Collection has already done a Boba Fett's throne room, which, if I'm not greatly mistaken, is 100% compatible with the new Jabba set. So you could just simply take Boba Fett's throne out and put Jabba in, and you've got Jabba's palace. The perfect display for all your little denizens of Jabba's palace figures. And this is something that the Black Series doesn't have, largely due to scale. That's just a problem that we're going to have to deal with. Scale is an issue for world-building materials when it comes to this line. It's just not practical to produce accessories that build up dioramas in this line. Dioramas are something I've been asking for a long time. Pretty much every single one of my wishlist videos consists of at least one, I don't want to build a figure, but I would quite like to build a diorama. And I stand by that, because I feel like in pieces, these sets could be easily produced. And this kind of leads me into what I wanted to talk about in this video, which is, if we're not going to be getting dioramas in the Black Series, what's something accessory focused that we could get? Something that could really benefit the line, and it looks good from Hasbro's perspective as well as being desirable from a consumer perspective. And I think I've got a good idea. This is an idea that I've pitched a couple of times, mostly on like the Out of the Basement live stream. Might mention this idea every now and then. It got like generally pretty positive reception, so I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna run with this idea, and I'm gonna see what you guys think about it. I really did a nosedive into this subject. I did a lot of very hastily thrown together, I'm not very good at maths calculations, and what I came to calculate is that from the beginning of the Black Series to the beginning of the Galaxy line, so the orange, the blue, the red line waves, the average Black Series figure came with about 1.9 accessories, so somewhere between 1 and 2. There were 3 figures in the original runs of the Black Series that came with no accessories. Those were your C-3POs, your L3s, and your Supreme Leader Snokes, individually packed without the throne. To give you a quick rundown of how I did it, I took a quick tally of every figure from the original line all the way to the end of the red line that had no accessories, 1 accessory, 2 accessories, 3 accessories, 4 accessories, and 5 plus accessories. I believe 5 was the most that any figure had, but I put a plus on there just in case something came up. Now, obviously, deluxe figures are kind of different because deluxe figures can really vary on what they come with. Sometimes you'll have a deluxe figure like Zeb that comes with 1 accessory, and I guess you can count those energy effects on the end, but I don't really count them because they're part of the bow rifle. And then you get your Boba Fett's that come with helmet, jetpack, 2 guns, sometimes a gun that's cut in half. There are lots of them. Or your General Grievuses that come with a cape, 4 lightsabers, 4 blades, and a blaster. So I was only really looking at the figures that are just basic releases that come with accessories in the boxes. So a lot of Jedi, they just come with the lightsaber. A lot of Stormtroopers, they come with either just the E11 or they'll come with the E11 and they'll come with the extended longer rifle. But on average, a Black Series figure for a general release price will come with between 1 and 2 accessories. And that got me thinking about the Starkiller set, because a lot of people have sat down and tried to figure out, like, how are they valuing this? Like, what's the value of each figure in this box? And if we take each of the main figures to count at basic retail, so $25 thereabouts, that's $75 for the 3 figures in the set, which leaves $35 of the total price unaccounted for. Bing bang boom, a little bit of made up maths. I came to the value of the accessories being about $2 each. Now, obviously, this doesn't factor in at all exclusivity or any kind of premium for it being a PulseCon exclusive. It's just what's left in the box after you get rid of the 3 figures and what it's worth. Because what I was trying to figure out is how much would Hasbro value the sale of an accessory? Because that leads me into my idea. Kind of picture this. I'm thinking of 3 Black Series accessory kits. Now, these are just dedicated $24.99 sets that come with about a dozen accessories. That's my idea, and I'm thinking of making them like era specific so that if you're going for like clone trooper stuff, you don't have to put up with stormtrooper blasters being in there. I thought about being faction specific, but I feel like 3 of these things is enough. I don't think you need 6 of them, and I don't think you particularly need a dozen Galactic Empire accessories, you know? There are enough sets out there that cover those bases, and it's not really what I'm looking for in these sets. Now, we'd have to make these appeal to both Hasbro as a producer and the fan base as consumers, so there has to be something in there that pleases both of them. Now, on Hasbro's side, that's easy. Easy to produce accessories that are already in the line. They can just hit a button and something will spit out 100 of these things. We're talking like regular line blasters. So for clone troopers, they've got their short rifle, their long rifle, their pistols. Stick a couple of those in there to kind of make Hasbro happy, make it worth their while to produce it. Something really cheap that they can make the most money off of. But what does the consumer want? The consumer wants something to drive them to buy this set. There has to be something in these sets that you can't get anywhere else. And that's where dividing it up into the 3 main eras of Star Wars comes in. Because because each of these eras could have something that appeals on a unique basis. For the Clone Wars set, we've all seen the new clone trooper that's coming down the pipelines with the removable helmet, but every single one of those clones has the same head underneath that helmet. Why not stick a couple of alternate clone trooper heads in the box? Different hairstyles, tattoos on the face. Not exactly character specific, obviously. You don't want to be giving away what could be a whole figure, but just like, I don't know, random bits of hairstyle or different tattoos, scars, something to make the face stand out. Because the basic clone head is great for just basic clones, but as the series went on, they became more and more unique, and even background clones that didn't even have any lines looked really interesting, and I feel like the Black Series could really build on that. You know, give me a reason to have this clone on my shelf with the helmet off. So for the most part, we'd be looking at weapons, alternate heads, and maybe some, like, I don't know, little holographic details. Like, you could get one of those communicators with Darth Sidious's hologram on for Commander Cody to hold. Just stuff that really elevates individual figures that already exist in the line. Because you have to think of the value for money on Hasbro's side and the consumer side. You have to be getting something out of these that you're not getting already. And I know what you're thinking with the weapons. Like, why don't you just take that weapon from another figure and give it to the one that you want? Yeah, you can do that, but you are taking away from another figure. There are plenty of figures in the line that come with multiple accessories, and that works really, really well. But once you get past that, you're going to be taking away a figure's dedicated weapon to give to somebody else. And I feel like just having an accessory kit with a bunch of spare guns in it could really come in handy. So you've got your guns, you've got your clone heads, but there has to be something else, like a centerpiece to the set. Something to really draw you in, something completely unique that you haven't seen before in the line. Because clone heads, you can change them around a bit, you can make them look different, but clone heads exist in the line already. And based on what I've seen from like third-party custom producers, there is demand for unique clone heads out there, but there has to be something else. And this is where the Emperor's Throne comes in, right? The unique world-building accessory. Something that really elevates your display, and something that a lot of people have asked for in the Black Series. Give us Yoda's council chair. Obviously, people would rather have a whole new prequel-focused Yoda figure come out, but if we're not going to get that, then just the chair will do. I'll take the chair. I've got kind of a custom prequel Yoda on my desk, where he's got a custom robe, and it really makes him look like the prequel Yoda, but I would really benefit from getting a chair. I mean, this might just be my bias towards chairs and tables coming through, but I feel like I've seen a lot of people ask for the Jedi Council Chamber in general. This could be the start of that. Give us Yoda's chair, like a centerpiece for that set, and you've got the main selling point of this Clone Wars era accessory kit. For the sequel era accessory kit, it's really, really easy to me. Like, there is something that these figures are all missing, and they all need it desperately, and that's photoreal updates on their heads. Now, the reason I say this is because I feel like it would be easy to produce. Not only that, but I feel like it would be a damn sight easier to produce than re-releasing the entire figure with an updated head, when really the only thing wrong with those figures is just the heads. The bodies, the articulation, yeah, they could be better, but they're functional. The real problem with those figures is the heads. It's old school 2015 non-photoreal paintwork. And rather than go through the whole song and dance routine of completely reproducing or archiving these figures, why not just stick their heads in an accessory kit? I know Hasbro doesn't like to have alternate heads just floating around in the boxes. They've got kind of a strange aversion to it. But if the accessory kit was in a sealed box that you couldn't see inside and just had like a guide on the back of what was in there, problem solved. You don't see the floating heads, you just see what's in the box. And these figures need new heads. They just do. They got a little better better towards the end when you get into like the Rise of Skywalker sort of era. That Rey is the best Rey in the line because it has a really decent head. But you go back to Scavenger Rey, you go back to my personal favorite Rey figure, which is the Jedi Training Rey, she needs a new head. Even as much as I love that figure, she needs a new head. So even if it was just the main three, just Rey, Finn, and Poe, maybe throw in an unmasked Kylo Ren head just for good measure, you've got something that I will buy in a heartbeat. Fluff out the box with a few reproduced accessories like blasters. The stormtroopers of the First Order could always do with more blasters. And not only that, but like alternate hands. There are alternate hands that exist in the Black Series that we could produce again. And actually, I probably should have brought that up when I was talking about the Clone Wars figures, because why not get some Jedi Force Power hands where they're pushing, or Clone Trooper hands that are like this and they're doing their hand signals like they do in the old Tartakovsky Clone Wars series. Something to really make the figures pop, you know? That's not just a generic clutching hand that's clearly just supposed to hold the end of a rifle. You know, give them something else that they can do. Like, I don't know how practical that is for the figures that exist in the market. I feel like there are enough alternate hands on the sort of third-party customs aftermarket that it must be feasible to remove the original hands. I'm not big into customizing, so I haven't really experimented with this beyond like popping heads off and swapping them around so that I could have a Grand Moff Tony figure. But yeah, heads, hands, guns, they could fill out the majority of the box. And to really sell the set, throw in something unique. Now, I've obviously got the Praetorian Guards in Snoke's throne room on my display. The one Praetorian Guard weapon that I don't have is the sword that collapses into a great big energy whip, because I bought the guard that would have come with that weapon individually, and he only came with his other weapon. So maybe I'm being selfish, but stick that one in the box. But I noticed in the SH Figure Arts Praetorian Guard set that they come with an energy whip that's like collapsed and extended. So why not put that in the box? That could be a unique accessory that we've never seen before that would be like a selling point for this set. I'd buy that in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? And as for the third set, the original trilogy set, I'm going to pass that subject off to you. Let me know down below in the comments what you would like to see in an original trilogy themed Black Series accessory kit. I know one, I'll give you one for free. I would love to get a photoreal Iden Versio head to go on that Inferno Squad agent figure that came with the Battlefront game. Easily. That would be 100% my pick, because I feel like who else is that figure supposed to be if it's not supposed to be Iden Versio? And so, you know what? I'll give you another one for free. Stick the ID-10 droid in there as well. You guys come up with the rest. What do you want to see in that box? What would make you buy an original trilogy themed Black Series accessory kit? And on the whole, what do you think of my idea? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What's your favorite Black Series accessory? Was it one of the ones that I put in my poll? I saw a bunch of different ones that got nominated, like the holocrons that come with Cal Kestis, the sliced in half E3 rifle that came with the deluxe Boba Fett. Hell, somebody in the comments even said the Boglings, and I absolutely loved it. What a great choice. So yeah, this week's video was kind of a ramble, kind of a mess of me taking something maybe a little too seriously and definitely diving into it a little deeper than I should have. But I feel like accessories are a major asset in this line, and there's a way that we could be putting them to even better use. You know, I love that saber swoosh. I bring it up enough. Like, why does it only exist in now 2 sets? We've got one with Count Dooku, we've got 2 coming with Starkiller. Give me a green one. I need a green one. In next week's video, we are returning to the Wishlist series, and we're going to be looking at the original 1977 Star Wars A New Hope. I'm very, very excited about it. Cannot wait to talk to you about it all. It's going to be great. In the meantime, however, I've been Grand Moff Tony. That was a bunch of rambling nonsense about Black Series accessories. You may subscribe when ready. Yeah, no, do it like that. Say it like that. There you go. I'm calling it off there. That's where I'm going to cut it off. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. It was poll.